World Cup qualifier. Hello once more, Elizabeth Nakakoni on sign language. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. We'll dig into it. Uganda police has vowed to pacify Greater MASAKA amidst murder rampage that has claimed 26 lives. This commitment comes after security arrested 15 prime suspects over the issue.
It is now 5 weeks since Greater MASAKA was invaded by MACHETE holding gangs whose intention is yet to be known by security agencies.
For now, we don't want to come up with a clear motivation, but they have their unique motives or reasons where they would kill the victims without stealing from them or committing any other offense.
Police, in conjunction with other security agencies, are doing vigilance operations to end the syndicate and the random murders. So far, 15 key suspects are under police custody out of 68 that were arrested before screening.
We have very important clues that are guiding us, that led us to the arrest of these 15. The people who are still holding on to information due to much fear, but want to rally them, please come forth with that information. These are members within your territory who have been recruited in some of these criminal acts.
Based on the preliminary investigations, police says the murders are being conducted by some residents within communities with a specific sponsor.
There have been suspects who are embedded within the community who could have been recruited. Of course, they have given us very valuable information which shows where some of these 15 were recruited from, the meetings that were held.
Community mobilization is ongoing among community members to enhance vigilance after destroying 2 cells of these machete-wielding gangs.
But we were able to dismantle this other cell that was operating in Chimanya and Karonia. But now there is a new cell that is still active, and it is the one that we are focusing our efforts on to ensure that we also dismantle that cell.
Meanwhile, police criminal report for last week indicates an increase in domestic violence cases, 3 cases of suicide, and escalating misuse of firearms by private security agencies.
Identified as Amen Ambrose Marcos, a 35-year former teacher at King's Secondary School, who was found hanging on a rope in the kitchen of his former wife called Namilin Bit, the director of King's Secondary School.
While enforcing anti-COVID-19 regulations, including curfew, police last week arrested 1,365 people, impounding 773 vehicles and 1,954 motorcycles, though some were released after caution and penalties. Abdul Nasir Lubama, UBC News.
And the State Minister for Internal Affairs, General David Muhoozi, is in Greater MASAKA to assess the situation that has created fear among the locals in the area. As Ivan Kawa reports, another person was murdered in Chazanga Mpumude in Lwengo district, bringing the number of people brutally killed to 26.
Security chiefs have met in Lwengo district over the brutal murders being conducted in Greater MASAKA, where 26 people have been killed by machete-wielding men. 69 suspects have been arrested in connection to the murders.
By this morning, a good number of them were being processed for appearance in court, about 11 or so. So that is as far as suspects are concerned.
The Minister of State for Internal Affairs, General David Muhoozi, believes that the perpetrators are spreading terror among the population.
Their choice of method to push whatever agenda they are pushing is not tenable because it's unpopular. You can't choose to kill Ugandans for whatever reason. It's not justifiable. And that one itself, I think, is good for us in government and for the public because it can turn around against the bad people.
More Logistical support and police officers have been deployed to improve on their mobility while patrolling in these areas where these murders are being conducted from.
And response, we brought in even technical means. The canine section has been reinforced, and the other technical aspects which I'm not at liberty to mention here. We've also brought in other specialized teams from forensics to assist in the case build-up.
From the first reported case, the style of killing has been changing from waylaying those who are moving back to their homes to breaking into their houses. But the big question is, how long will it take for the security operatives to ensure that no any other life is lost?
That's why we want to go deep to understand this problem. Why MASAKA? Who are the perpetrators?
Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in MASAKA City.
The government of Uganda has earmarked 10 million shillings to each family that has lost a relative in the ongoing Greater MASAKA MACHETE welding incidents. This has been confirmed by the RDC MASAKA District, Fred Bamwine, in an interview with UBC TV. Now, as per Sunday, the 29th of September, Bamwine confirms that over 30 suspects have been netted in connection with the murders.
Till to date, random murders continue taking center stage in Greater MASAKA. Resident City Commissioner MASAKA Fred Bamwine confirms that as of Sunday, 29th August 2021, 38 suspects have been netted in connections to the Greater MASAKA MACHETE massacres, contrary to police reports, which rounds it to only 15.
We have about 38 suspects, but among them we have some key people who participated in the actual killing. So that gives us hope, and it gives us the courage that sooner or later everybody will be apprehended.
Besides the involvement of local leaders, Bamwine says some security interventions are being undertaken to arrest the situation.
I've also installed toll-free lines to all the sub-counties that have been affected. We have increased the number of motorized patrols. That's why now our target is that the response to the scene of crime should not take more than 10 minutes. We have directed to start registration of the residents. Every chairperson must register his residents.
Though he cannot rubber stamp what might be the root cause of this current predicament, Bamwine points out at drug abuse as part of the problem.
Almost every village has a black spot where they're taking opium. So we want to identify those black spots in villages where people are taking opium, because there's some kind of trace where these murders have been taking place, that some people have been dropping these cigars of opium.
Registration and recruitment of local defense unit force is being looked at, a long-term solution to these killings.
So the whole week I've been registering LDUs who are going to be trained and come and beef up security, because they'll be working with UPDF. So plans are in the way.
Bamwine also reveals that the government has set aside a 10 million shillings package for every family that has lost a dear one, and will also foot the medical bills of those nursing homes.
The president promised the country that once he's elected, he will protect Ugandans with their properties. So, if people are being killed, presidency must be interested. And in that regard, actually, the president has promised to condole with those who have lost their dear ones with 10 million shillings per family.
Since no one is certain when these killings will end, a general call for teamwork has been sent to all stakeholders in the well-being of MASAKA residents. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Forum for Democratic Change Deputy Spokesperson John Chikonyogo has condemned the ongoing murders in Greater Masaka that have claimed over 20 lives. The party advises government to cooperate with the area leadership and criminal investigators to detect the culprits. This was during a weekly press briefing at the FDC party headquarters.
Of late, Masaka district is making headline news for all the bad reason. The ongoing murders, where residents are having sleepless nights and not sure whether they will make it through the night without machete-wielding murderers not attacking them. While addressing the media, John Chikonyoko, Forum for Democratic Change deputy spokesperson, said government should invest more money in intelligence rather than only depending on police and the army patrolling the area.
Whenever there is an issue, the first thing the government thinks about is deploying the army, deploying the police. Everybody knows it pretty well that the people who have done a better job, according to us, are the people of intelligence. You cannot deploy without intelligence first. But for us, we start from deploy, then we think, and then we bring intelligence.
John Chikonyoko asked Security Minister Jim Mwezi to enhance security tactics if they are to get the culprits who are changing killing tricks each new day.
The Jim of those days, I don't think this thing could take a week or two without being solved. The Jim Mwezi of those days, senior officer, before they got even his ranks. When they got the ranks, I think it was Lieutenant Colonel Jim Mwezi. He was in charge. The way he was doing it, we are watching him do it because he was investing a lot of money in his officers to do the work.
FDC further advised government to have a central point of communication instead of having different security bodies updating the country on the murders.
Some of these people are young people, maybe. Some of us who were there those days, we knew how dangerous it was for any villager to give information to the security concerning someone who is attacking their villages. You know how dangerous you can put your life in if you are not careful. Because you are not even sure, the police will not talk to those people.
Helen Barbara Jisamba reporting for UBC TV News.
Now, Mbarara district leaders have ordered for the arrest of the district health officer, Peter Sebutinde, and the district health educator, Kamugisha Fred. The duo allegedly inflated the village health team numbers with intent to defraud government.
Criminal Investigation Department officials attached to Mbarara Central Police Station have arrested Mbarara District Health Officer Peter Sebutinde and the District Health Educator Kamugisha Fred for allegedly inflating the number of village health teams.
We agreed that these people should be investigated. So we called in CID department and police, and they actually investigate the circumstances under which these funds were slashed from 150 to say like 95,000.
In July 2021, government released 142 million shillings from Mbarara district to facilitate village health teams and village task forces in the fight against COVID-19 in 355 villages. The district made supplementary budgets and circulars, and each village was allocated shillings 400,000. The 300,000 was to facilitate 2 village health team members and 100,000 to village task force. It is alleged that the district health officer, Peter Sebutinde, and his colleague generated their own lists.
In some areas like Bobare, even non-VHT members were also included on the list.
Because for them, they claim some other villages have more than 2 VHTs at every village. But for our point, we are saying every village should have only 2 VHTs.
But I can see there was a lot of forgery, with the intent to defraud government.
Reports also indicate that village health team members received 95,000 shillings instead of 150,000.
Instead of the VHT member, each VHT member at the village level was supposed to receive 150,000 because it was 300,000 to facilitate 2 VHTs per village. So, and I got information. I was in Kampala. I had gone to Ministry of Local Government. Then I got calls from the intended beneficiaries telling me how their money has been slashed. Now, like in Buvare, it reduced from 150,000 per each village member to 995,000 shillings.
Ruiz Region Police spokesperson Samson Kasasira confirmed the arrests. District leaders maintain they must investigate this scam to its logical conclusion.
And teachers have been urged to vaccinate and avoid fraudsters who are duplicating COVID-19 jab certificates. The spokesperson, Ministry of Education and Sports, Dr. Dennis Mujumba, says vaccination for teachers upcountry is yet to start.
Ministry of Education and Sports has re-echoed its call for teachers to consider COVID-19 vaccination and avoid duplicating jab certificates in order to safeguard their lives and those of their students. Ministry of Education and Sports spokesperson Dr. Dennis Mujumba says they are targeting about 730,000 teaching and non-teaching staff and confirms upcountry teachers shall be vaccinated after the distribution of vaccines this week.
Vaccination is not for the sake of the teacher keeping a job, but it is primarily for the safety of the teacher. So anyone who really traps or tempts a teacher to buy a fake COVID-19 vaccination certificate, one, they are doing a disservice to the teacher. Don't engage in buying fake vaccination certificates. It is uncalled for. There is no need for panicking. We are now in the phase of the week when upcountry activity is supposed to be gaining momentum, and we hope that by Friday, Saturday, we should have a clear picture of how we are doing with vaccinating teachers upcountry.
The ministry has so far distributed homeschooling materials worth 28 billion shillings and expects to get 48.5 billion more to purchase more equipment, including those for special needs students.
These home study materials are not library material. They are supposed to be used by learners in the homes. So can head teachers make arrangements, call parents to come and pick these materials from the schools and take them to the learners at home. We have supplied various types of materials for learners who are blind, learners who have hearing impairments. We have supplied to 122 primary schools in 67 districts around the country.
According to the Education and Sports Ministry publicist, inoculation of teachers upcountry is yet to begin. Shaidat in Nasaku, UBC News.
Meanwhile, teachers and directors of different schools hope that the ongoing teachers' vaccination exercise against COVID-19 points to school reopening. Others have started preparing for the reopening should government announce.
When the COVID-19 pandemic hit Uganda, lockdowns were announced and schools closed, crippling the education sector. Over 15 million learners and teachers have been affected, creating an education gap and class relapse.
So when the government look at that teachers should be vaccinated before they reopen, actually we are so excited because it has been a long time with nothing in the pocket. Teachers, actually, we reached at a time where we were as useless as rubbish.
However, the concentration for vaccination now in Kampala metropolitan area creates a lesser hope of reopening, although the exercise could have covered the entire country.
Actually, this is a very challenging moment. Schools need to be reopened. Many administrators, many teachers have not been vaccinated in various areas. I'm just calling upon the Ministry of Health to speed up the vaccination exercise, to try to purchase more vaccines such that everybody is vaccinated before schools are reopened.
This classroom with the desk rows piled with dust tests the absence of students, with the echoes of silence in the classroom environment, an indication of void facing the education sector that has been closed for almost 2 years since the announcement of the first lockdown on 18th of March 2020. But with the onset of the vaccination against COVID-19, gives teachers hope of returning to the classroom.
I'm really very excited when I at least hear that government has started thinking of schools and our children coming back to school, because like the children have really gotten very many problems at home there.
Beds from within the rooms such that the dormitories are well spaced. Then when it gets to lunch, serving lunch, we don't have to have children queue up or make lines for food, because we know the risk we are heading for. We know the situation in Uganda currently. So we, the adults, will do all it takes to ensure that we protect our children.
Since last week, 11,410 teachers have been vaccinated in Kampala metropolitan region out of the 550,000 teachers countrywide, although vaccination for teachers in other districts has not yet started.
We are also worried if the students, the children we are teaching, they are not vaccinated and we are vaccinated with as teachers. Actually, we are still worried, not 100% sure that we are safe.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
9 Ugandans were arrested at Jomo Kenyatta Airport over stamp forgery, the Directorate of Crime Intelligence has confirmed. The arrested were being trafficked by Awan Chimera Rashid, who is on the run.
So many things are embedded in here. So we continuously monitor these activities and we have to let you know about the trends as they occur.
According to Crime Intelligence Directorate of Police spokesperson Charles Twini, the government is planning to rescue these Ugandans who were arrested in Kenya over forging Kenyan stamps.
9 Ugandans were arrested at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. 9. And unfortunately they have been charged to court. These were got and charged with forgery of an endorsement of a Kenyan stamp.
These were being trafficked by the one Gabriel Charles, promising them jobs abroad. The suspect is still on the run.
The unfortunate bit of it, these were Ugandans who were trafficked by somebody called Gabriel Charles. He has a warehouse for people in Chileka.
Similarly, the Immigration Department of the Ministry of Internal Affairs has intercepted trafficking of 8 Burundian nationals who were being trafficked through Uganda.
One of the key trends have been the issue of citizens of Burundi. Burundian nationals are increasingly being, Uganda is being used as a transit route, and especially women trafficked in the practice of getting them jobs in Saudi Arabia.
The increasing cases of trafficking in persons are blamed on unemployment, greed for wealth, and lack of information, among others. Abdul Nasir Luwama and Insamba Juma for UBC News.
Local government leaders in Lango sub-region have been advised to create awareness on government programs. Speaking during his monitoring visit on the impact of COVID-19 relief funds, State Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development, Charles Okello Engola, says the public needs information on government programs.
State Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development, Colonel Charles Okello Engola, is carrying out the final monitoring visit to assess the success of COVID Relief Fund. The 100,000 shilling support to the vulnerable groups was a government pledge to help this group during the 42-day lockdown. Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development was directed to monitor the funds.
We need to fight underdevelopment in this country, and the only way to do it is loving our country, loving our people, and loving the work we are doing to them, giving them the proper service which the government is giving us to do, and really minimize or, if possible, reduce totally corruption.
By 12 July, 9,596 dwellers of Lira City had received the disbursement.
We are so grateful as private school teachers and support staff in these private schools. It helped us.
We initiated a project for nursery beddings for our street kids, which is down at Airlock Ghetto.
The ghetto youth who used the money to start up a nursery bed were commended for investing in a long-term project.
But sustain the money to be. Thank you very much, ghetto. And I offer you 500,000 for doing what?
And a lot of them are leaving that bird aspect and starting to realize that there's need to work hard so that you earn a living.
It's not all the time blaming government, when you yourself cannot blame yourself who is doing nothing. This one, it is like saying government. Oh, government. Even if it's not by stone on the road, government. And when they leave the government, they go to president. Blame government when you have done something.
Although the program was successfully delivered in Lira City, the 8 million sent by the ministry as staff facilitation has not been accessed.
Unfortunately, due to transition and system challenges, we have not yet been in position to access these funds.
Ediolwa, UBC News.
Higher Education Student Financing Board will be receiving applications from final year students who need financial support for their program of study for the financial year 2021-22. A number of students and institutions have appealed to the board to consider continuing students who face financial challenges. The Executive Director for the Higher Education Students Financing Board says Parliament appropriated an additional 500 million shillings for the continuing students.
The Higher Education Students Financing Board implemented the Students' Loan Scheme in 2014 with a major aim of increasing access to higher education for highly qualified Ugandan students who may not afford higher education fees. With a target of only students joining in the first year of study, the board has now considered supporting continuing students with an additional 500 million shillings approved by Parliament.
That's why we are here to announce that starting this year, we shall now be supporting continuing students.
Mr. Wanyama says the funding will start with final year students who are struggling to finish their study programs.
It is 27th meeting, the board approved it to gazette this funding to start with final year students who are struggling to finish their study programs. The funds will be directed to the finalists in the 5th year, 4th year, 3rd year and 2nd year, depending on the years of study program.
The window application to the continuing students will open concurrently with the existing first-year students' loan opportunity in October 2021.
Our logo frame, we think that they may be able to complete admission by the end of September, and we shall also open the window for those who want to access this money in October. So this is the time we're also opening the window for the students who want to apply for the funds under the continuing product.
Marion Nambozi, a beneficiary of the program, appeals to government to increase slots as well as catering for other students.
However, it is my humble request that also some other courses a little while be looked into and be considered so that other students of the country do benefit from this.
The board has so far awarded loans to a total of 11,187 beneficiaries, of which 9,632 are undergraduate degrees and 1,555 undergraduate diplomas, mainly in science, technology, engineering and math. Jane Nyiramjisha, reporting for UBC in Kampala.
The Ecological Party of Uganda President Charles Bale has applauded government for its efforts of improving service delivery. Bale cites examples from many sectors, but most importantly electrification, which in the past took ages to materialize for any average Ugandan, but can now be achieved almost in an instant. He thus advocates for a political reasoning, as many blame government even where they have no facts.
For the first time, I've been compelled to comment on two incidents. Yesterday, I applied for umeme, for power connections. Actually, I made two applications online. Within the next 10 minutes, before I finished the second, I worked on the first one and submitted. Before I finished the second application, the first one was approved. That is a very positive thing. So. And I also, that is what is happening in umeme. Now you can apply for something online, that something that would take weeks can take just minutes.
Meanwhile, National Water and Sewerage Corporation, on behalf of Government of Uganda, has signed an agreement with Plant-Based Uganda Limited to expand and upgrade the Lyantonde water supply system. The 15.7 billion shillings project is aimed at improving water supply reliability in Lyantonde town and the surrounding areas, including the newly created Nshara Industrial Park, and it's expected to be delivered in 12 months.
In line with Government of Uganda's drive for industrialization as a means to creating employment and growing the economy, National Water and Sewage Corporation has signed an agreement with Plant-Based Uganda Limited. And also use our people. You are going to work in Lyantonde there. Use our people. And ensure that security, the occupational health and safety measures are properly taken. We don't want to hear that people have died because you are trying to cut corners here and there. So we really don't expect that. And we are very, very strict on that. So if you do anything different from that, we shall have a problem. National Water and Sewage Corporation Managing Director, Engineer Dr. Silva Mugisha, says Nshara Industrial Park in Lyantonde is grappling with water challenges, thus the need to upgrade the water system. You must deliver the project in time and also within cost and of the quality that we tendered out. We don't know you very well. We don't know you. You are new to National Water and we don't know where you are coming from. But if you are used to doing things differently, for us we want you to deliver the project as designed. And this is coming from the mouth of the accounting officer. Nobody should come and confuse you and you start doing things otherwise. The project must be done as designed. And we think you want the project because you can do it. If you want the project, hoping that you can come and start discussing with us how you can increase the cost, it will not happen. It will not happen because it has not been happening with others and we don't expect it to happen there. Dr. Mugisha says the project is not only going to serve the industrial park, but also supplement the water in Lyantonde and Kiruhura. He adds that as a way to grow the economy and create jobs, President Museveni recently sanctioned the creation of Nshara Industrial Park in Lyantonde.
We are so honored to be contracted for National Water Project, but I have to say that we have already have experience in working here in Uganda. We have our equipment, we have our staffs, we have a system of management. And also that it is a good opportunity to work with our partner, Plant-Based. That's also according to our company goal, in some scenario we have to become a localized contractor with more resources of Uganda, other staff, partner, suppliers.
The construction works are to commence next month and will take 12 months to complete. The works shall be supervised by the in-house National Water staff for efficiency. Sudat Kaye, UBC.
With that, let's take a quick break. We return with business news. This is News Tonight.
My home, I smile when I think of you, Uganda. My home. My home, I dance when I look at you, Uganda. My home, oh my Uganda.
I know with you I'll always stay forever. I know, because I feel that we belong together. My home, under the sun so bright, under the moon at night, on my heart. Mommy, oh my Uganda.
Hey mama,
My Uganda.
oh,
My Uganda.
oh,
My Uganda. My Uganda. Nikokone. My Uganda. Amari alemira. My Uganda.
nyoe nikugonza.
My Uganda.
Amina ngojo, Amina ngojo.
At MTN, we look forward to starting another exciting journey together to grow our home, Uganda.
Keep your eyes on the prize, eyes on the prize, eyes on the dream, eyes on the dream, eyes on the scene, eyes on the scene, eyes on the scheme. You gon' need eyes behind your back to see who's got your back. Who's got your back? As a matter of fact, baby, what's your own back? Who you looking at? Who's looking at you? Blinded by love, maybe you need a better view. All eyes on you, all eyes on you. These eyes on you, these eyes on you. World's eyes on you, world's eyes on you. So what you gon' do? So what you gon' do?
Readjust your vision for an all-new season of Big Brother Naija on GoTV. Rated 18, proudly sponsored by Abeg and associate sponsor Patricia. Uganda, today is a great day to work towards your dreams. Dial *185 *7# and select savings to save as low as 500 Ugandan shillings on regular savings or 250,000 Ugandan shillings for fixed deposits. Airtel Money Super Saver is powered by KCB Bank Uganda. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless. T's and C's apply.
Echa COVID-19 chijja kugwa only if we stay at home, observe physical distancing, wear masks properly, sanitize or wash our hands with soap and water regularly, or get vaccinated now.
Keep your eyes on the prize, eyes on the prize, eyes on the dream, eyes on the dream, eyes on the scene, eyes on the scene, eyes on the scheme. You gon' need eyes behind your back to see who's got your back. Who's got your back? As a matter of fact, baby, what's your own back? Who you looking at? Who's looking at you? Blinded by love, maybe you need a better view. All eyes on you, all eyes on you. These eyes on you, these eyes on you. World's eyes on you, world's eyes on you. So what you gon' do? So what you gon' do?
Readjust your vision for an all-new season of Big Brother Naija on GoTV. Rated 18, proudly sponsored by Abeg and associate sponsor Patricia.
5 for 5, 5 times the winning, yeah. 5 times the happiness, yeah. 5 times the luckiness, yeah. 5 for 5, oh yeah. It's 5 for 5. 5 for 5, 5 times the money, yeah. 5 times the shopping, yeah. 5 times the prizes, yeah. 5 for 5, oh yeah. It's 5 for 5. 5 for 5.
Win!
100,000 Uganda shillings weekly in the 5-for-5 jackpot. Simply download the Center mobile app. Click Center on the go to open your account online. Transact 5 times or more using Center Mobile, Center Visa, and Center Agent to stand a chance to win. The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. So, participate in the 5-for-5 jackpot and win millions in daily and weekly prizes. The 5-for-5 jackpot is brought to you by Centenary Bank. Our bank, Centenary Bank, is regulated by the Bank of Uganda. Customer deposits are protected by the Deposit Protection Fund.
Keep your eyes on the prize, eyes on the prize, eyes on the dream, eyes on the dream, eyes on the scene, eyes on the scene, eyes on the scheme. You gon' need eyes behind your back to see who's got your back, who's got your back. As a matter of fact, maybe want your own back. Who you looking at? Who's looking at you? Blinded by love, maybe you need a better view. All eyes on you, all eyes on you. These eyes on you, these eyes on you. World's eyes on you, world's eyes on you. So what you gon' do? So what you gon' do?
Readjust your vision for an all-new season of Big Brother Naija on GoTV. Rated 18, proudly sponsored by Abeg and associate sponsor Patricia.
Brought to you by
Transact 5 times or more using Center Mobile, Center Visa, and Center Agent to stand a chance to win. The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. So, participate in the 5-for-5 jackpot and win millions in daily and weekly prizes. The 5-for-5 jackpot is brought to you by Centenary Bank. Our bank.
Brother Night.
Welcome back. You are still watching News Tonight. Now in business news, Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority says it's set to launch a crackdown operation against unlicensed money lenders across the country. Now it is alleged that the illegal money lenders have exploited the COVID-19 pandemic situation to cheat Ugandans of their hard-earned money.
Addressing journalists at Uganda Media Center, the Executive Director of Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority, Mrs. Edith Tusubira, says the authority is concerned over the mushrooming unlicensed money lenders who are taking advantage of the desperate people affected by COVID-19 pandemic to cheat them.
To the attention of the authority that all and some unlicensed institutions are conducting money lending business without licenses, without being supervised, and therefore they are violating. And that is actually in total disregard of the provisions of this Tier 4.
Following this piece of legislation, the authority is now effective to act.
The authority would like to inform the general public, therefore, that Tier 4 Microfinance Institutions Act 2016 is very alive. We want to inform you that we are beginning to crack the whip, and so we are concerned about those mushrooming, so many of those money lenders that are out there doing business in defiance that we are coming. We don't want you to start saying, oh, we are being followed, we are being followed. We will follow you because it is illegal.
Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority is mandated to regulate, license and supervise all Tier 4 microfinance institutions and money lenders, SACCOs, non-deposit taking microfinance institutions and self-help groups.
Let us mark, it does not touch MDIs. It only applies to those who are carrying out microfinance and their institutions. Therefore, they are not deposit taking. So if you don't take savings as a microfinance institutions, you fall under UMRA. And then it also applies to all self-help groups.
So far, the authority has 950 money lending institutions, but only 801 are licensed. UMRA encourages borrowers to transact business with only licensed money lenders to avoid being cheated. Lydia Chomkama, UBC News.
Meanwhile, Skilling Uganda project, especially now as the country copes with the COVID-19 pandemic, has continued to gather relevance as many are embracing the program for employable skills. Major beneficiaries of the Skilling project lately seem to be women that lost jobs due to COVID-19 but are now venturing into businesses like hairdressing and beautification.
As COVID-19 continues to ravage economies, government of Uganda seems determined to follow the age-old adage of when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Various interventions like the Skilling Uganda project that existed prior to COVID-19 but wasn't welcomed by the public have been upped after realizing that white-collar jobs suffered adversely from the effects of COVID-19.
Then numerous training opportunities. SYB. Have you come with SYB? SYB is start your business. Yes, your employees here, but at a certain stage, you'll be required to start your own enterprise. Why not? So we have SYB, start your business, IYB, improve your business. These are modules. Then entrepreneurship and marketing. So when GIT has done this, you can do a lot more. Members never feel small.
Over the last 3 months, a skills training project has been in beautification and hairdressing and was an initiative of Private Sector Foundation of Uganda in collaboration with Salon Sparkles in Kampala.
Just concluded a training for our employees, and it was targeting at improving their skills levels and synchronizing their service level to our customers. We thank PSFU, which funded us, and DIT, which assessed their appropriateness. And we know that going forward, this skill will be useful to them while they are with us, while they are employed elsewhere, and while they start their own businesses in the future.
It was a fully certified process by Directorate of Industrial Training, whose acting director Patrick Byakatonda encourages youth to be ethical and continue training for better skills growth for employability.
My appeal is for them to have ethics, because now they belong to a profession, so they should demonstrate ethics. They should not take away things from the saloon and whatever the combs and the rest. Now they should be professional and they should do a professional job. Once they are professional, then people.
The latest batch of beneficiaries had 130 people, mainly women, but inclusive of men.
NAKINDIBA Forest Reserve in Wakiso District is on the verge of extinction as loggers and charcoal dealers continue to cut down rare tree species with impunity as local leaders look by. Wakiso District Chairman Matia Lwanga Bwanika has rekindled the district plan to restore depleted forest reserve located in Kachira Town Council.
Kachiri Division Police Commander ASP Nwagaba Swedi and area local leaders have toured NAKINDIBA Forest Reserve to ascertain the damage caused by timber loggers. This comes at a time when the forest reserve has been destroyed by locals during the 2-month COVID-19 lockdown.
When they tell us, we swing into action, but they rarely communicate. And our patrols are always there. We have never found people around.
ASP Nwagaba Swedi blames the area local leaders for lack of vigilance within the community.
That's why I'm saying it is basically the community. Because if it is people from outside, the community, because they benefit from this forest, they would have made noise for them to be arrested. But because themselves, they are the one involved, they just come to cover up, but when they have already destroyed everything.
By deforesting using a machine, that's an illegal aspect. And then during night, when there is a curfew, and you wonder where are the security agencies in that area, meaning that I call upon all stakeholders, from security agencies to others, various leaders, from ground to nation. If we collaborate, if we have a good political will, we can restore and jealously protect our forests.
He said the police has been carrying out routine patrols whenever they receive intelligence reports. Wakiso District Chairperson Matia Lwanga Bwanika has blamed government for underfunding its agencies, such as the National Forestry Authority.
It also indicated that even the communities are involved in the deforestation. Objectively, I would say, apart from NFA as an establishment, as an agency, it seems to be very thin on the ground, meaning that they don't have enough structure or human resource. Manpower is very small there.
Both parties agreed to restore the depleted forest reserves to save the country from future negative impacts of climate change.
Tugana tulime ebintu byaffe akaseera nkuba mwandi tonyedde mu bitundu bya etonye naye waffe ojja kwekanga enkuba tekyaliyo
nenga ffe twali tulowooza nti oba batendalinga nga bagenda kusimba miti twagezaako ne twegatta nerosi ne tugezaako okutambula mu kibira muno ne tufubutulamu ku bantu enfunda zaawera
sa embeera eyo abaakwasibwa ebibira be babadde abagayaavu ekibira okutuuka okuggwaawo n'abantu ba bulijjo nabo ne balaba nga tebajja kwesuulirayo gwa naggamba.
Timber loggers reportedly took advantage of laxity in the supervision by the National Forestry Authority to encroach on the Nakindiba Forest Reserve. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC.
Was brought to you by the 545 jackpot is brought to you by Centenary Bank, our bank.
Keep your eyes on the prize, eyes on the prize, eyes on the dream, eyes on the dream, eyes on the scene, eyes on the scene, eyes on the scheme. You gon' need eyes behind your back to see who's got your back, who's got your back. As a matter of fact, maybe want your own back. Who you looking at? Who's looking at you? Blinded by love, maybe you need a better view. All eyes on you, all eyes on you. These eyes on you, these eyes on you. World's eyes on you, world's eyes on you. So what you gonna do? So what you gonna do?
Readjust your vision for an all-new season of Big Brother Naija on Go TV. Rated 18, proudly sponsored by Abeg and associate sponsor Patricia.
Be alert! Do not share your Airtel Money PIN number with anyone. Airtel Uganda employees will never ask for your Airtel Money PIN number on call, SMS, or by email. All SIM card registrations, SIM card verifications, or SIM swaps are done at clearly branded Airtel shops and not on phone. To report any fraudulent activity, please call 100 immediately. The official calling number for Airtel promotions is 0200 100 100. Stay alert on Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
And on the international scene, Beijing rolled out a multi-pronged attack on U.S. intelligence agencies on Wednesday after President Biden received a long-anticipated intelligence report that is said to be inconclusive about the origins of the novel coronavirus. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin accused the United States of using coronavirus origin tracing to suppress other countries, and he called the report political instead of scientific. He also pushed back against criticism from U.S. officials that China has obstructed international efforts to get information about the earliest days of the pandemic.
The so-called report is entirely politically driven and false. There's no science or credibility. The U.S. has released another statement to smear and attack China. Beijing has expressed its strong objection to it and lodged protest with the U.S. The U.S. is accusing China of being uncooperative in tracing the virus origins. That's a lie. China attaches great importance to and actively participates in global scientific cooperation. China has invited WHO experts twice to conduct research. Earlier this year, a joint team of international and Chinese experts conducted a 28-day study in China and released a China WHO research report. That study reached authoritative professional and scientific conclusions and laid a good foundation for global cooperation on tracing the virus origins. We always support and will continue to take an active part in origin tracing, but we firmly oppose politicizing this issue.
And U.S. anti-missile defenses intercepted as many as 5 rockets fired at Kabul's airport early on Monday as the United States rushed to complete its withdrawal from Afghanistan to end its longest war. A U.S. official said the rockets did not halt the steady stream of U.S. military C-17 cargo jets taking off and landing at Hamid Karzai International Airport in the capital. Now, no group immediately claimed responsibility for the attack. Last week, the Islamic State group launched a devastating suicide bombing at one of the airport gates that killed at least 169 Afghans and 13 U.S. service members. The airport has been a scene of chaos in the 2 weeks since the Taliban blitz across Afghanistan took control of the country nearly 20 years after the initial U.S. invasion that followed the September 11th terrorist attacks. But since the suicide bombing, the Taliban have tightened their security cordon around the airfield, with their fighters seen just up to the last fencing separating them from the runway. In Washington, the White House issued a statement saying officials briefed President Joe Biden on the rocket attack at the Hamid Karzai International Airport in Kabul.
Become desperate for food and security since
And now in sports, Uganda Cranes has completed preparations for the World Cup qualifier det in Ethiopia and is destined for Kenya to undergo final passes before facing the hosts in a 2022 World Cup qualifier on Thursday. Now, head coach Mitchell Milton has a large cast from which to choose and must be a lucky many because all the players are in good spirits. Uganda is in Group E alongside Rwanda and Mali in a group from which the top team qualifies for the final round of qualifiers.
Ball has gone over. If number 3 stays.
Me as a player, it is winning, you know. I've come all the way from Congo to represent my nation because we need to win, you know. That's the reason as to why the coach gave me the chance to represent my country. If it wasn't that, he knew very well that I'm going to represent my country, and I've come here to make sure that I make my fans, the people all over the country, back there at home, the 40 million people, to be happy, because the most important thing is winning and winning and winning.
Your expectations of working with Mitchell again?
Yeah, working with Mitchell again, I'm very happy and honored and pleased because he has called me to represent my country, knowing that maybe I'm going to help him to achieve his dream and the Ugandan dreams and also my dreams as well.
And now let's quickly take a look at the top stories for tonight. "15 arrested in connection to MASAKA MACHETE welding incident." Education Ministry warns teachers against purchasing duplicated jab certificates. While China criticizes US for politically manipulating virus origin tracing. And Uganda Cranes to face Kenya's Harambee Stars in World Cup qualifier. Thank you for sticking with us through the hour. Elizabeth Nakakoni on sign language. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. This News Tonight. We'll leave you with Dafin Kabasita with the weather update.
Sunny intervals have prevailed in most parts of the country this morning, but then later in the afternoon we had showers in most parts of Uganda. This is because of the rain belt being over our country, according to the satellite image over Uganda. Tomorrow we're expecting showers in most parts of Uganda, apart from some few areas where we're expecting sunny intervals, like in the southwestern part of our country. Later in the afternoon, we're expecting thunder, isolated showers in most parts of Uganda. Temperatures expected to rise to 30 degrees Celsius, that is in Lila, and then other parts of Uganda we're expecting temperatures to rise from 26 to 29 degrees Celsius. Apart from Kabale, southwestern Uganda, where we're expecting temperatures to rise to 22 degrees Celsius. Going beyond Uganda, we're expecting Mombasa, Dar es Salaam and Amsterdam to have sunny intervals. In Dubai, we're expecting sunny conditions, and then in Addis Ababa we're expecting showers with temperatures rising to 22 degrees Celsius. That's what we had in our store. Thanks for tuning in to UBC for the weather update from Uganda National Meteorological Authority. I'm Daphne Kabasita Nsamba. Don't hesitate to click on our website. Have a blessed evening.
Join